Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shijun Wang from Baylor University. In today's video, I will finish my tutorial on learning the Chopin First Scherzo. It's December 2024. Most of the music school applications are closed by now, but Baylor is still open. We will remain the application open until next year in February, since our last audition is in the middle of February. So if you haven't applied, or if you think you should apply for another couple of schools, consider Baylor. We have a lot of graduate assistantships this year for piano performance, piano pedagogy and performance, and also collaborative piano. All right, let's jump back to the first scherzo. Last time we stopped around 304. I don't know if that measure number means anything to you, but every time when I play these scherzos, I'm so mindful of how this 4-bar measure phrase is constructed. So you see, every section really can be divided by 4. So this middle section, unlike the second scherzo, which I recorded a whole series of tutorials years ago, that one, right, it's kind of a chorale-like texture, but also Chopin never put any tempo changes, no indication of tempo changes, but everybody plays a little slow, right, for good reasons, right? It's the whole texture change. But in this piece, Chopin did put più lento, so he wants us to play them slower. But also the texture, well, it's not chords, but it's also a chorale-like texture. It's just broken chords, and there's so many counter melodies that we should consider this a kind of a vocal chorale way. Of course, the middle voice in the right hand is the main melody. Yeah, but we also have other counter melodies in different voices. So the left hand always start with this B, and then 5 measures later it became yeah, and at the same time when the left hand start to have changes, so you have you have also so that's all the counter melody. Also in the right hand around the same spot, while your middle voice is still having the right, having this melody, also right hand top. Yeah, and this is such a good counterpoint writing. Left hand has going up, and then or in the left hand middle voice you have this parallel 6 and with the contrary motion. So be really careful that we should show all of these counter melodies when we play. And the other very important technique we should use is that most of the time when we play this middle voice, we use thumb. And we should consider our thumb as an extension of the arm. So we're actually not moving the thumb, but applying the wrist and then the arm weight. Yeah, that's how we get this warm sound. The melody is a quotation from a Christmas carol in Poland. It's quite a common one. It's called Sleep Baby Jesus. And it's funny because the piece title is joking, right? Jokes. But there's really nothing funny about this moment, because Chopin, in his early 20s, had some defeat in arranging recitals in Vienna, and he was in Vienna during this time, and there's no success. He always lost money. He did two every time he lost money, and this was also the first Christmas he spent without being at home with family. So he's alone in a foreign country with defeat. So he quoted this Christmas carol. I guess that's such a reminiscent of earlier happy years when he was able to spend the holiday with family. I mean, I wouldn't say this. It's sad, but it's not the happiest moment. In order to play these harbins that Chopin indicated, we have to know the limitation of this instrument. There is no way for us to do a crescendo on one note, right? It doesn't matter how hard we try, it's not going to go up. So sometimes when we have more notes in the left hand, yeah, because when we play the piano and have more notes, that's easier to create the illusion of crescendo. So we can try, right? I think maybe 2 years ago when I did this whole entire ballad series, we have this. Yeah, we even have the first ballad. Yeah, we want this first chord, which is quite long, to crescendo. So we use the left hand. Yeah, so it sounded like the B is growing. Well, it's actually, we all know it's not. So here we can use a little bit of that, but then that last beat, how can this D sharp keep going up to the E? We have to imagine the D sharp with a subdivision in our head. So we're actually not thinking D, D, D. We're thinking D, 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 D. Right? So when we think that, we also apply the singing quality, we also apply the timing. So we also just transfer all of this information through our arms to our fingers, so it sounds like that. Then we can create the illusion of doing that. And this middle section here, so obviously we have more movement, we have more harmonic changes. Before we have one harmony, even the same harmony within two measures, but here so there's more changes, it's getting more urgent, it's more active. And also here in measure 325, Chopin put con anima, which we've talked about before. It's not animato, not with more movement, but with soul. So this is the most sincere part. A common mistake for young pianists is that when they see grace notes or trios, their first reaction is to play them super fast. Even the road chord. Yeah, and that is not the intention of Chopin. You have to remember every small note is part of the melody, and when it's a part of melody, when you have to sing them, there's no way you do them so fast, right? Unless you're like a rapper, you're doing a different type of music, right? If you're singing with a lot of emotion and tone, you need to sing them a little slower. And also, you're using a lot of air support. So, but you may ask, how do I fit in 4 notes, 3 notes within such a small unit of time, this eighth note? You can start a little early, you can expand the beat. So not wait until the last minute, but yeah, this allows you to play deeper and also play with your arm. And I think here in 329, Chopin put a rolled chord on a 6. And we all know sometimes the rolled chord, it's because we can't reach it, right? So we have to just break it like a string player to reach out the note. But clearly that is not the reason behind this rolled chord. I think Chopin wants us to show this middle voice. Yeah, and he's helping us to show it by doing a rolled chord, right? So that we don't play them at the same time, which is 100 times harder. All right, and then the A section, the fast section comes back. We are going through the coda. The beginning of the coda is not difficult at all because so it's basically 3 chords. That's a B minor chord, the E minor chord, and then the F sharp major chord. Yeah. It's just 3 chords rotating. One thing the left hand does differently is that the first 3 groups, you have 2 quarter notes with the rest, and then the remaining part, then that really needs us to move our arms totally different. This is how we do the first part. This is how we do the second part. See how my second note for this, it's already a departing mode. But then the second time, it's an arrival mode. And it's coming from the ground because I always want to play from the key. So it sounds like. Sections, it's all like a chord within octaves, but here it's much trickier. First of all, there is a hemiola between the beat of the measure to the harmonic change and also the technical change, because the we have to change our hand position every 2 beats, not every 3 beats like the previous section, right? And left hand is not, but it's right? So I think Chopin almost wanted us to speed up, but without actually speeding up, but we speed up the grouping. So instead of 3, we have that grouping every 2. The most important thing to play this part is that to use our second finger, which is marked by Chopin himself, to use second finger on the F sharp, to use this second finger, I even hold this note. But you have pedal anyways, right? I hold this note so that I can use this to measure how much I turn my wrist. Yeah, and the first two groups are much harder because the thumb has to go reach a black key. Then I have to turn my wrist quite a bit. But the third one is not too bad because that's a white key. It changes a lot. And then make sure this gigantic chromatic scale, we are showing all the accent. And it's really just two notes alternating, E sharp and then B. And then, of course, we have to know where to stop. And most of the cadences are dominant to one, like authentic cadence. But this is a plagal cadence, which Schumann uses a lot, and Chopin put fortissimo and then an accent. So it's such a gigantic ending, exciting and with so much energy. Well, this is it for this first scherzo, and of course it is my goal to finish as many repertoire as I can, because I learned this piece this past summer, and since I've completed all the etudes, all the ballade, there's no reason why I wouldn't finish all the scherzo, but I don't think I will be learning the other two very soon. So I'm still deciding what to teach for the new project, but I think a new episode will be released earlier January next year. Thank you for watching.